was SEO from before, and then now things have
Yeah.
changed with AI and kind of changed it all up. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
All right, it's done. We will get started, folks. Welcome to our fifth online marketing webinar for small business. I'm the host, Sanjay with oGoing, and we have another fabulous host here.
Hey, Sanjay, good to see you.
Hey, Cindy, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So I guess we have an exciting topic today. It's this whole SEO game, right? It's pretty awesome. You know, everybody wants to have their website found on the search engine, right, as the top place, if you may. And I think it has changed a lot thanks to Gen AI. So I think let's do a quick question here with the audience. Thank you for some of the returning members here. Have you used Gen AI for search versus just searching on Google? That's the question. And you can have some answers, like how many times do you use like a ChatGPT or a Gemini or a Copilot, any of those cool things for searching? Oh, absolutely. All right. Yeah, because it is changing. I think a lot of folks are doing that, and we want to share a few insights on that. And once per week for searching. There you go. That's pretty awesome, Alan. Thank you. So what I want to do is share a few things. So let's start with. It's interesting. There we go. Are you all seeing this beautiful artwork here? There you go. So, that's me. We have Cindy here. Thank you, Cindy. And we really want to jump into the main topic for today, which is the new SEO marketing with Gen AI and how it's changing the landscape, if you may. And I think we can start off with a quick question. How many people actually use Gen AI for search last year? And I think a lot of us have tried, right? And things have changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
The answer is pretty big out there. It's actually 13 million people and counting. And some of the surveys say that's only going to grow. So if you look at this particular survey which was done, they're saying 90 million users are going to be using that. So this is only US, by the way. The world is much bigger. So a lot of folks are searching with Gen AI as we speak. And I think that's the key. Why? Why is there so much excitement? Is it really helping them with the results? What's happening? I mean, we kind of know what the search was before AI, right?
Right.
Electrician or plumber near me. This is Google search, you get some answers at the top, sponsors. Then you see your Google Maps, and then you will see actual results. So the question is, what has changed? And I think that's kind of the answer we're going to provide today, with hopefully some takeaways, Cindy, right? So let's jump into it. So I asked ChatGPT that question. I said, of course, that's kind of the go-to place that people go to for Gen AI search, right? And can you find me a local plumber in Irvine, which is where I live, who has great reviews and is available for a job next week, right? I mean, how cool is that? Straight to the point. And actually, yeah, it did. It gave me a few answers. And here are some highly recommended plumbers in Irvine, should be able to assist you with your needs next week, including their contact, phone number, and yeah, and the links, right? So if I click on it, it takes me to their website. Also some reviews as to why they feel this is good. So this is, I think this is more and more people are going to do this kind of search. Now, the question is about trust. So the next question you would have is, well, is this trustworthy? Are these really the best answers that you have? And they are already including some of the reviews here, right, as to why they feel that this actually makes sense. Uh, then I said, well, why stop at ChatGPT? Let's ask the same question on Google. Find a local plumber in our find same thing, available for a job. So Google gives me some sponsored listings right away saying, yeah, sure, you want somebody who's there, let's do sponsor. But then let's see what happens immediately before, after the sponsors, they're giving me some Yelp answers. The best 10 plumbing in Irvine, next door. Finally, I got somebody who actually has an organic answer to this, right? So there you go. Somebody here called ARS Rescue Router. Hey, they have they're there on the top page. How cool is that? Yelp comes up again, and then some other plumbers, and then of course they jump into Google Maps and so on. Uh, but if you look at Google Maps, definitely lots of reviews matter. So what has changed? And then they also show this in the middle. How do I find a reliable local plumber? You know, plumbers work hard. Interesting. Why hire a local plumber? So, just wanted to show you some examples, and again, we can look at what Copilot told me as well. Bing, I think, don't know what happened there, but
Did it seem like the results were comparable on the different platforms, or did you find they were different?
right. So I think some of the platforms did not like my long tail search, but once you maybe change the way you ask, then they start giving you better answers. But I guess the reason I'm trying to share this example is a lot of people are searching, Cindy, with these long questions more and
Right,
more.
right.
And I think that's the new way of searching. People really don't want to just say, hey, plumbing, right? I actually look at what Yelp did when I asked the long form question. It says it's an invalid search term.
Oh, that's interesting. So,
Yeah, because I think then I had to refine my search and say plumbers, fast responding.
mhm.
And they have this different things that you can do as well. Besides fast responding, you can actually chain the query. So, it's basically, yeah, they want open 24 hours and specific services. So part of it is each platform has its own nuances, right?
Right.
In terms of how you want them to search, including this is Google Maps, right? So Google Maps is interesting. It does take that whole query which I had, but then it gives you results which are some are sponsored. But see, I like this. This is what is changing. So it's actually showing me an answer from a review. So because I said, can you find me a local plumber who has great reviews and who's available next week? It actually looked at my question as somebody which has a great review. So this guy has a great job, which requires several hours of diligence and hard work, right? So it actually is, this is also the way things are changing, right? So if you have reviews which actually has some of the answers to the question your prospective customers may have, that's very important
Right.
because now those reviews are showing up in search and that's helping your prospects find better answers. So this is how the AI is changing kind of the SEO and the search game. I don't know. What do you think, Cindy? Do you think reviews help?
Yeah, I think reviews definitely help get you noticed, especially on if you're doing Google reviews on Google, because that's
Yeah.
sort of the way that everybody. So we'll talk with folks all the time who are like, "Oh, I need SEO. I need to come up higher on the list," and we do actually some traditional style SEO for a few clients. But a lot of times, what we start with is how many reviews do you have now? And even for B2B companies, this can be a useful way to get higher up on the search results.
Yeah.
And so, using having a system in place, whether your system is on Fridays, I grab a cup of coffee and send out 5 requests for a review. Maybe that's your system. Or if you've got like we have an automated system for like $100 a month that does a bunch of things, including you can send out review requests and it will also respond to those review requests. So we think that Google and Sanjay, you're so dialed into the what's happening behind the scenes at Google and Zoom and places. But as far as I understand it, Google likes it, one, when you have Google reviews, but two, they like it when you respond to them as
Absolutely.
well. And we use some AI to do the response. So if we look at like reviews that I have for Kokoro Marketing, the responses to those are AI generated. Am I too busy to do it? No, but I wanted to try it and see how it worked. So I did. Um, but
No,
I think reviews
absolutely.
are a big deal.
And what I also noticed is one of the companies I noticed it did show up in pretty much all the other searches as well. This company here, so obviously they've done a very good job across the board. In terms of their presence and the fact that they do show up.
Yep.
Also, I wasn't going to limit myself to Google. I said let's go and ask that question to Apple Maps as well, which very interesting. A lot of people are searching on Apple Maps right now, especially from their
Yeah.
iPhone or smartphones and or iPads as well. And it did take the query, and yes, it came out with a couple of interesting answers, including Plum's Cafe, which definitely not a plumbing cafe, but the point is there are many other good answers as to great plumbers that you can find. But you can see it does give preference to folks who have reviews.
Right.
So again, why are we showing this? So this kind of shows you how the search has changed, right? People are searching for long tail keywords,
Mm-hmm.
if I may, and and now what we are seeing is, from something as simple like before, folks want conversation, right? So what AI is doing is inspiring answer, inspiring conversation, right? So as long as you have content which allows you to provide better answers. So, for example, emergency plumbers, right? And what your search engines are doing, they're saying, let's find you answers which in a way they pull the best answers from different sources, including your own website or some of the reviews you have, and then they're moving it into a conversation. And I think that's huge. So if your content starts becoming more conversational, from search to just providing better answers, that's where the game is going to get played very quickly, if not already. And I think, so if you are a service provider, a contractor, even a B2B company, start thinking conversation. Yes, reviews are important, as Cindy just said. But again, within reviews, conversation matters. So,
Yeah.
it goes back to that question people have.
I mean, some of this, Sanjay, to me makes SEO seem easier. Because in the past, there was, uh, you know, I got to get all my H1 right, and I need to have a special URL and a special landing page for every single thing, and I need to bake all these keywords in. And what I'm hearing you say is that some of that's changed. Like, how much of that matters anymore? That's sort of how we were doing it 6 months ago or a year ago, those type of
Yeah,
traditional
so
SEO. What do you
I
think?
think obviously you can't, the foundation matters, right? So you got to have the foundations done right, in terms of your website, your page titles, description, all of that still matters. But what also matters more so now than ever is content which is conversational, which is of high quality. Look, a lot of people are using AI generated content, right, to just pad up their websites. Don't do that. Right?
So
Because
you don't
this,
think we should use ChatGPT to build all the content on a website?
no, because what happens, Cindy, is the search engines, they're only going to get smarter. So they're already saying, like, look, is this you know there are tools, Cindy, where you can see was this content AI generated or was it original?
Well,
Believe it or not.
you can do that on the OpenAI site, and I learned that with my
Yes.
daughter being in school. She had to submit every paper to a part of the OpenAI site to prove to the professor there was none of it generated with ChatGPT or some other
Yeah.
generative
So there you
tool.
go. So if there are easy tools available, don't you think Google and Bing and all the search engines, including even social search now, and uh, I mean, look, everybody knows that, right? So you can't just plug and play content that, a Chat GPT or a Copilot or any of this Gemini gives you, right? Because it's kind of like they know it. So you can't say, well, let's just put that on your site because all it does is, I mean, sure, it might give some value to your potential customers. I'm not saying it doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
but it will not provide value in terms of improving your ranking. So if you think all that content adds value, no, it doesn't. I think what you want to still think about is creating even a higher level, a more qualitative content. So don't fire off your writers yet. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is have better writers, which are going to create even more authentic content, more experience-driven content. See,
Gotcha.
experience matters, right? So think about the problem you're trying to solve for your customer. And if you create content that provides them that narrative in a very first person saying, look, we know you have a plumbing issue, but not just plumbing. What is the issue? Is it a drainage problem? Is it something clogged? Is there water leak? You got to replace some outside, pipes, for your garden. So as long as your content talks specifics, including what is the problem you want to solve, that's what people are wanting to see, right? And then that content with experience, with examples, with videos, all that matters, right? Specific, get specific. And the more specific you get, the better answers the search engine will pull from your website, and that's what they will end up showing. So here's a good example about a thermostat, and somebody has questions about how to install it and wiring around it. Well, give a good answer to that, and people will somehow find that content, and then search engine will be more than happy to show your content as an expert around that answer. Does that answer your question, Cindy?
Yeah, so if I just was going to do one or two things right now to adapt to the new SEO AI landscape, what would be like the top one or two things that you think I should do?
Show your expertise, right? So come back to what you're really good at. There's no substitute for that, right? As long as you are showing that, the key takeaway would be, right? Conversation that provides answers, right? So I would say focus in on those, right? So create content where think about your customer having certain questions about their problems that you are trying to solve. Focus your content around that. So start with their problems. Think about what would be their questions that, that's the answers that you are trying to provide. And
So
then
like
think,
blog
yeah,
posts and videos that are showing expertise, so
yep,
that
yep,
kind
yep.
of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, educational, right? So focus even more on
Hmm.
education. I mean, anything that's selling is, it does work, but not as much. And also the reviews you get, right? So
Reviews.
maybe think
Yes.
of the reviews you get from your clients and turn that around into a great content, right? I think because reviews tell the real story. That shows what experience your customers are going through, and that's
Yeah.
where your prospects are wanting to answer those same questions, right? So when they want answers to those same questions.
Who on this call right now does use reviews for your own business? You're trying to go get reviews for your own business. I'm not even going to ask, do we look at reviews? Because I just feel like everybody takes a peek. Maybe you don't take, you might take it with a grain of salt or whatever, but I know it has some impact, but yeah, anybody here? Alan, you do some. Okay, good. Anybody else? Can I just ask? Hey, Amy, what up? SC, Powell, Benita, do any of you try to, or just have a gangbusters like review getting process in terms of getting reviews for your business? Everybody's so quiet. Right, right. I think Amy, that's totally valid. So I'm looking at Amy's comment in the chat there. That you do recommendation. I too was only doing LinkedIn for a while. I'm like, I do LinkedIn, and then I'd put those on my website because we do a ton of B2B, especially in the broadcast media space. That's a lot of our jam, though. Somebody this morning called me from a whole other space, which was fun. And that actually started happening as I had people calling from other spaces, and they're like, you don't have very many reviews up. And I'm like, you know what? I need to do that. And that did seem to help, having regular reviews. Nice, Vanita. You started asking. Yeah. And time
Yeah,
people
I
problem
think
for Amy. Oh, sorry, I'll just wrap this up. Time people problem, Amy. You can definitely put a system in place to do it. It can be partly automated, all automated, or something. Like whenever there's something that needs to happen repeatedly, we know we do it with video processing and all other walks of life. We put automation in. We can put it in for review requests too, and that automation can be used for other things other than sort of processing files and stuff like that. Sanjay, back to you.
no, you're absolutely right. I was thinking on LinkedIn recommendations. I think if you are targeting B2B products and services, a lot of, and if you are either a consulting company or even somebody who's looking to move up the ladder, right? So as a professional, I mean, I think the recommendations they do work, right? So it's a place that both would be customers of yours as well as even if
Mm-hmm.
you're looking to get hired. I think it matters both ways. It's just quite interesting how LinkedIn has also changed over the years. It used to be primarily a place for getting hired or showcasing your resumes, but I think nowadays things have changed there as well. Yeah.
Right. And the tricky thing about LinkedIn, unless I've missed something, the reviews on LinkedIn are going to come to the person. So they're going to go to you, Amy, or you, Alan, or you, Vanita, which is fine, especially in a smaller company. If you're the face of the company, it's all good. If it's a bigger company, I don't think companies get reviews on LinkedIn unless something's shifted there, which,
They
hey, it
haven't done
changes all
that.
day long. Could change.
They haven't done that yet. It's a good point. So, oGoing platform, our own small business community, we do reviews. So you should all look at that as well if you're a small business owner, which most of us are. But yeah, LinkedIn doesn't do reviews for businesses. At least not yet. They have started messaging for businesses. So as a business now, you can message
Right.
directly to your followers or people who are in your community, right? So that's something they have started now. And so it's conversation is the key. So I would go back to that. Think about how how your customers are discussing their problems and the solutions you provide to their problem. As long as it's conversational, I think that's the way to go. And yeah, I mean, I'm tempted to by the way
Conversational.
to take content from a chat GPT and plug and play and throw it out, especially if I'm marketing this event. And believe me, it
Hmm.
doesn't stick. I've tried both ways. I've tried content that I've created on my own and spent
Yeah.
some time thinking about it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that seems to have better traction when I promote even this event
Hmm.
versus if I just plug and play something I get. So
Right.
I think the key is I want to just share one more thing, but the search has changed, right? So it's going to keep changing. And if you don't change with that, I think you'll have issues, right? So this was a question, open question that was asked. How do you think users will search in the future? And this is very scary, right? Only 24% is going to be search engine, and they're saying 42% will be Gen AI. So obviously, Google is not going to sit and and wait for this. That's why they have Gemini and Bing as Copilot and all that, right? And so the point is, but if you are a company, you have to start thinking now, saying, how do I become part of this, generative AI results? Because more and more search will be focused on that. So, I think, you have to, and if you look at what people are searching or the answers that you're getting from this Gen AI, it's long form questions. Can I do this with that in this situation? So think that way. So all these questions, as long as your content provides answers to those questions, in a blog
Mm-hmm.
post, through a video, through a Q&A, through an FAQ, what will happen is your answer will be picked up in as much as they believe that you are an authority on this, right? And how do you claim authority? Well, you claim it by lots of reviews, by lots of feedback. So again, you have to demonstrate that both through your own website as well as through the reviews you get. I don't know. That's kind of the bottom line.
So with voice search, you're feeling like there's a big change in how people search and what's happening with SEO around that, I'm hearing.
It's very interesting. So, how many of us actually search with voice? I do sometimes. I think I use voice a lot more, in messaging as we all do, right? But there is a whole trend, especially people using Google Assistant, Siri.
Right.
I think Alexa it started it all, if you all remember. I don't know how many people still use Alexa, but I think there is a trend for sure to actually ask the same questions and not even type in your search. Uh, and I think we have to be ready for that. How
Who
many
does
of us
that
do
on the
voice search
call?
here? Yeah.
Who here's doing that? Like when you do a search, do you pull out your phone or tablet and do a search just by voice? Anybody do that?
Let's ask that question here. How many of us do voice search? Maybe. Okay. You can type here. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's still new. Maybe it's a certain type of search that people might be using when you're uh, at a mall. I could probably see myself doing that. So if I'm at a shopping center,
Right, right.
I might say, look, is there a sale going on for a certain brand of shoes that I'm looking for?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
While I'm already visiting a place, I think for that, that would be a very good way for voice search, right? Something which is, I would say, timely search. So if I'm not doing something this weekend and maybe I want to attend an event for a car enthusiast show, I think I might do that, right? So I mean,
That's
it's
true.
something spontaneous. Hey, I want to do this. Is there something out there? And I'm looking for an answer. Yeah.
Right. And when we search, most of us, not everybody, but most of us are going to look at the first page, maybe the second page of results. So what I'm getting from this session, Sanjay, I don't know if this is the right order, but just these are the things that I'm taking away so far is one, just because of the way people search and because of AI, I'm going to do an audit about searching for what we offer on a bunch of platforms. Perplexity, ChatGPT, whatever, all the different platforms, and just check and see what happens. So
Yep.
doing an audit. Secondly, I'm still for reviews because every time you see results in Google and other places, the reviews seem to bump you up the list and Google likes that. So I'm going to just double down on reviews. And then third, I kind of feel like I was already doing this, but I'm going to just pay more attention, being sure that the content on the website is conversational and helpful and answers people's questions. What am I missing? Those are the three things I got so far as a small
Don't
business
copy,
person.
don't copy content from AI and put it on your website. Don't do that.
Right.
I think some people have fallen to that,
Oh,
so be
yeah.
careful. Yeah, be careful with it. Even by the way, folks, even an image that you create with Gen AI.
Yeah.
So like today I shared that on LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
But if I'm going to start posting those images on my website,
Yeah,
the search engines know that this image has been created with
for
Gen AI.
sure.
Now, I'm not sure they will penalize you for that, but definitely they know that it is
Right.
not an image which was an authentic original image, right? So, we are still in the early revolution. I'm not trying to dissuade people from having a go at
Yeah,
Gen
yeah.
AI. I mean, I think it's an awesome opportunity, but I think it does come with some ramifications. I feel the reviews are going to get even more important because I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
Gen AI and the new search will look at the actual content of those reviews.
Yeah.
What did your customers say about you? Are you providing the best quality at a great price? Are you affordable? Do you provide timely help? Did you have a bad review or a bad experience with a customer? So in a very interesting way, they might amplify
Yeah.
what the reviews say about you. So that's why it's even more important than that you of course everybody wants great reviews, but if at all sometimes if you do get a poor review, make sure you provide your good answer to that.
Reply. I
And
sometimes when I oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
Sometimes when I ask a customer, hey, would you mind leaving me a review, whether it's on LinkedIn or Google or wherever, they're like, yeah, yeah, what do you want me to say? So I am prepared now when I go to somebody and I say, oh, hey, and I think, what do I want to be known for? Um, marketing that starts a sales conversation. Hey, could you tell them about that, LinkedIn DM series that helped, started as an automation but turned into conversations that got you appointments, or talk about whatever you want. But at least I show up with one or two things I want to be known for. Because otherwise clients, they don't know what to say, and they'll be like, oh, really
Yeah.
friendly and easy to work with and stuff that's nice, but maybe I want something more to the point. So a
Specifics.
thought.
Specifics matter, Cindy. I think that's the key. So the more specific it becomes, the reviews as well as the content about your expertise. So I mean, your expertise, I've heard you say that so many times, the content or marketing that starts a sales conversation, right? So that's your tagline. And I think more and more people know about you with that, with examples specific to what you do. That's it, yeah. Cindy is the go-to lady for this. And I think that's how you get recognized. That's how people will know you, and that's how they will come and do business with you. Right. And I think that matters too, right? So what is that? And I think each business is different. And Vinita is here, and for her, her business could be, I'm the go-to person for a small business that needs a transaction, who's looking for buying or selling. And why, is she the go-to lady for, let's say, a specific area or a specific type of business?
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
I think that's where the expertise, that's where people get to know her personally, and that's where they will go, right? So I think each person or each business has to bring that out, not just
Right,
because they are saying it,
right,
because customers are saying that, and because
right, right.
conversations are happening about that, because you have a great Q&A around that, and I think the more of that happens, the more you will grow, into that position that makes you the so-called expert in that area.
Well, I've got my three takeaways from this session, so I am loving it. But what questions do you have? Alan's got a question here, and Sanjay, I'm going to throw to you on the Alan's question in the chat. Amy, Vanita, Powell, do you have
No.
questions?
Is this AI or is this original content? Alan, there is no good answer as of today, right? So I think the answer is don't take the actual copy that they give you. I mean, obviously, I would say that's a starting point, but ultimately, the write-up should be as much about, uh, it should have your personalization on top of that. It should be completely coming as if you are the one who is a writer. I know AI could do that too. You can actually give it a few examples and it will start writing as if it's you, Alan. But I would say don't. I would say maybe 20% is coming from that and 80% the good old 80-20 rule, but in reverse. 80% is yours and 20% is AI generated. I would probably live with that for now. Yeah. Yeah, that's and share a lot of examples. I think even now, as long as the keywords are relevant to the content people are searching and it has great examples about what is it that you're trying to solve, right? Through graphics, through tables, through a chart. Search engines love that. They love charts, they love graphics, they love something where it's problem solving. They would devour that and they would definitely show that content ahead somebody else versus someone else.
Amy, you got a question? No, just being here.
Thought I
Glad you're
should
here.
show my face at
I'm
some
so
point.
glad.
All
I've
right.
just
so
been
glad.
on back-to-back Zooms. You know how it is.
I know you were on your session right before this, and I missed you, but yeah. Who else has questions?
Video content is awesome, guys. So, right, if it's snippets, like I think the whole thing is short stories, 15 to 30 seconds. Again, answers to questions. So
Mm-hmm.
keep thinking that, and then you share that on your website, or of course, it's there on YouTube and anywhere else you want to put it. LinkedIn also now.
Right.
But also include the closed captions and also what the content is about, right? So this is make it easy for people to either read
Consume
it
it.
up or watch it. Yeah.
Got you. Does everybody on this call feel like they've got one thing they can do to help with their own SEO as a small business? Like, okay, from this call, I know I need to do X, or I'm going to go ahead and try Y. Like, did y'all feel like you got something, or do you have a question about what to do next?
Alan, you had a question?
Just follow up a little bit. How you doing, by the way?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good. Follow up a little bit. Yeah, we always modify for our own brand voice, of course. It just used to be in the olden days of R&D, replicate and duplicate. You change half, maybe a third of what you've been able to discover out there, and pretty much that would be enough to get through any technical issues as well as make it your own kind of thing. So we're kind of searching around for that. I didn't expect a definitive answer on that one. The other one, though, the takeaway is really we need to automate our review process and getting reviews and so forth. I mean, we know how to do it. It's a matter of getting that automation in place. It's more of also, honestly, we need to automate that process and we need to hire someone. So, we cannot do all of this work just two of us, and so we're going to be looking at that pretty closely, and we're trying to parse out, okay, what's the best first hire, and this might be a good topic for you guys someday. How do you make that determination? Should it be, and it's different for everyone, of course.
Yeah.
Should it be administrative? Should it be email automation, digital specialist? Should it be social media? And what are the ins and outs of choosing that? Because we're in the process of putting our criteria in place and what we want to get. So, we need to automate more, and we still need to hire someone. So we're on our way.
I mean,
No,
you've got so
absolutely.
much experience in the business world, like you got a ton to draw on there.
Yeah, we're not concerned. It's more of a got to do it. Got to get the time. So.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Next session is coming up July 31st. I think it's on video marketing.
Amy, oh my
with
gosh.
AI, right? So we have to. It's a difficult one for a lot of us. Either we embrace it or or get embraced by the competition. So So I think it's not easy for all of us to just say let's do a lot of fun videos. I know Cindy does a lot of fun videos. I've seen her.
And Amy.
She does have a knack for it. Amy as well. Yeah, there you go.
But
So
I didn't, my first videos are horrible and should definitely be set on fire. So it's not like I showed up like, yeah. And even now I'm like, ooh, that could have been, that should have, could have been better.
set
But
a digital video on fire. That would be interesting. So,
well, so on that session in 2 weeks, I want to come up with a way, and I have a little quick method for people to make something really easy. Because it is, people feel daunted and scared and don't want to do it and stuff. So we'll bring that.
yeah, I was looking at my original first YouTube video, and that's funny as well. So, it's I
Nice.
guess that's ancient, right? Like so many years ago. There you go, Alan. So it is video marketing in the age of AI, though. So everything has the AI thing to it.
Okay.
But also we'll
That's all
cover the
good.
basics. I mean, I think we are awesome experts here. So I'll just take a step back and let Cindy do the talking next time. How about that?
Amy, you need to show up for that one if you have time. I know you're super busy, but since that's totally your jam.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. It's a little different. We're not doing like exactly the same thing you're doing.
No, but
In the call.
video, kind of a pro.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
true. Thank you for this. One question I have is just, we're looking for a new website creator, webmaster, because ours is retiring. So if anybody has suggestions, because I don't know anything about SEO. I just hire people who do. So that's what I'm looking for my small business.
Do you have a website? What's the type? Do you know? Is it custom site or is it based on a platform?
I have no idea.
No idea. Okay.
That's how much I outsource. That's the link. I mean,
Okay.
I know it was originally built on a platform that was WordPress, but I don't even know if it still is.
Okay. No, I'll
I
definitely
think it's
check it out.
basically WordPress with, some back end flourishes added.
We
Yeah.
can help you. That's totally Sanjay's wheelhouse, and
Okay.
so I can help too if need be. But
Okay, yeah, I mean, we're just looking for someone very
Yeah.
basic to run it. I mostly update the content, but every now and then I need someone to do something that I don't understand how to do, like SEO. I don't do that.
gotcha.
Yeah, then we can run a quick audit, give you a sense of where you stand. I think one of the things with SEO is also not as much about, well, content is king, obviously, and queen. It's important, but what's also important is the website should be, there's something they do like a website score, and you need to score high in terms of performance as well
Right.
as all the
I'm
case.
sure we don't, because we haven't updated it in a long time, so.
Yeah, so I think we need to just quickly
Do a quick
fix the
audit.
technical issues first, and then we can focus in on making your website stand out, right? So I think Cindy and I will figure it out and get back to you quickly. Yeah.
Okay, and Alan, tell me what you do. I don't know.
Yeah, hi. My background is B2B marketing, but currently I am marketing for our startup dog training, behavioral management dog training business here in Grass Valley, California. And we're putting together a hybrid model where we teach online as well as have aspects teaching in person. So that's what we do. I grew up in optical networking and media, and all the while been doing this kind of marketing automation and messaging. And my professional expertise is really in messaging and honing the message, delivering it, getting it out, solving that problem, and getting leads and content aligned to that. That's what I actually do. So.
I feel like the two of you could have met at some point along the way, but
Yeah, worked at companies like Cisco, Ericsson, Telestream. Unfortunately, sorry.
Alan, were you in Silicon Valley from 97 to 2007?
Absolutely. I was there. I arrived on scene in January of 1998, and we were acquired by Cisco in the fall of 99, worked there till 2007, did some other stuff, moved on to Ericsson, did some other stuff, moved on to Telestream, now doing behavior-based dog training.
Yeah, because I was at WebEx in those days, and then we got acquired by Cisco. So interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
You all could
interesting.
have met before.
We all could have done. Well, there's definitely an overlap with the whole B2B product
Mhm.
marketing and management side. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
My career has started in engineering, went to product management, went to product marketing, and
Yep.
out I go.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
Absolutely. Similar paths. Absolutely, sir. Yeah. Well, you got the who's who here. Maybe everybody can,
Yeah. So, Amy, if
So,
you ever wanted to, just for fun, go over, your messaging and delivery in addition to these fine, brilliant minds who are on the call, I'm
You
happy
guys
to
should connect.
take a look and offer
Always good to have
something.
someone else with a messaging background, sure. That's what I do for a living is messaging
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, exactly.
But on the video side too. And we also produce events, live events and video content for live events and social media campaigns.
Very cool. Yeah.
Companies,
Yeah.
so.
Very cool. So,
what are there specific events you guys produce, Amy? What types of events? Or?
I mean, we've produced events for 20, 30,000 people at convention centers, for nonprofits, associations. We've produced sessions of events for, we've produced roll-in content, like we produce stuff for National Association of Broadcasters for their, plenary sessions. I say for nonprofits, we make people cry and write big checks at, events about whatever, saving the whales, what have you. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so we have most of our clients are global, either global companies or global nonprofits and associations. And so we typically are working with them on kind of a strategy level where video and events are part of this overall communications strategy.
And where are you based?
Washington, DC.
Oh, in DC. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm working in a non-profit and we have an event coming up on September 21st. So I'll speak about that separately. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're already producing events that are in November and next April and things like that. So we have quite a big group of people. I mean, I'm really the only person left in the DC area. Actually, one of our editors is here, but everybody else is global. We went virtual in 2005, actually. So way
Oh, wow.
before the pandemic, we went virtual with all of our production. So we have editors in different places and different countries and all of that, because I just realized it didn't make sense to own all the gear. Every client wanted a different camera, a different edit system, a different delivery system. So we were lucky in that sense because we were already teed up to do virtual and hybrid.
Yeah. You're ahead of the time.
So,
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah. So like we're doing a big rollout for a major Maryland broadcaster of a big project that they're launching, and that's going to be a live broadcast and a live event and a live stream and a time delayed broadcast with a lot of different components to that event.
Fun.
So that's an example of one thing we're doing. And we're doing another project for an association that's like a campaign, a fundraising campaign for a nonprofit that they support. So a lot of different kinds of projects, which is fun. Each project is different. We don't have a really cookie cutter kind of approach. So.
Oh, definitely. No, I think we'll talk because this is a very interesting nonprofit. I'm their board member as well as their convention chair, and might be too soon for you, but for this convention is like almost 2 months out. But having said that, let's talk as well.
Yeah, 2 months is a little tight, but you never know. It's great to chat
there
and
are other
learn about
areas
them.
you can help because you're saying you help with fundraising and many other things, right? So that's another thing.
Yeah, and I think, it's kind of a specialty because I mean, not that we haven't worked with big corporations as well, but the association and nonprofit side, it has its own way of communicating, and you have to understand something about fundraising. You have to understand about that particular story arc and how to communicate with people. It's a little different than on the corporate side. So we have a lot of expertise in that.
Absolutely. Well, Cindy, any other takeaways? We good?
No, I got my 3 from that I already named off that are awesome. So
Well, folks, thank you again for
Thank you so much.
enjoying with us, supporting us, and hopefully learning with us. So we look forward to seeing you on July 31st for our AI and video marketing, what's changing and how we can leverage that and grow. So again, thanks all. Have a great couple of weeks and see you back.
bye,
Thanks.
See you later.
Sanjay. Bye,
Bye.
Amy.
Nice to
Bye,
meet you, Alan. Bye,
Good to meet
everybody.
you. Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Bye. Let me turn off the